Arm strength, weak, can't tackle. 40 time, unavailable. Did you run the 40?
No.
That's okay, either did I. Did you play football?
No.
Bill Tobin was right. 0 TV experience. In your mock draft in 1979, would Mel Kiper have projected Mel Kiper to change the NFL forever?
No way.
Live from the Sheraton Hotel in New York, ESPN presents the 1980 National Football League Draft.
In 1980, the draft was televised for the first time by ESPN. And even in year 2, it wasn't ready for prime time.
Okay, here's Commissioner Pete Rozelle. He is ready to make the first selection.
The broadcast began with the commissioner's mic turned off.
Joe Ryan of the NFL offices beginning to come over. He's got to turn the microphone on before you can hear the commissioner.
The 46th Annual National Football League Selection Meeting is now in session.
Once ESPN started televising the draft, it was the first round.
It was just plain boring.
The Dolphins select quarterback Dan Marino of Pittsburgh.
I really don't understand. You wouldn't label him as a classic Don Shula kind of quarterback either.
No, that's true.
Who could have imagined the solution was a college dropout working out of his parents' basement? I didn't know that I was going to sell insurance and do every commercial. It just kind of happened. It wasn't really a goal of mine. Did you know that you always wanted to be a draft?
I knew when I was in high school. Back in those days, Peyton, there were hardly any trades. Right. There was no free agency. The draft was the only way to change your team. So I knew the value of the draft. And I figured, okay, if I'm interested, a lot of my friends were interested, why wouldn't the rest of the country be interested? Calling schools, getting tapes, got the big, massive dish on the roof, was able to get feeds from all over. 81, first book published. 130
I bought that book, I was 5.
130 customers, Peyton. 130 customers all over the country. Next year went to 500, and it kept going.
Here's Robert Massey with Mel Kiper's bestseller, The Draft Report. We'll be back.
I'm always interested to read his book, as long as he sends it free.
You're doing the publications, but there's nobody on TV doing what you do now. Tell me how that comes about.
They decided defense was their major need.
Bud Wilkinson, legendary coach, he was doing the draft. He was retiring. They needed to fill that spot. A friend of mine was having lunch with Bill Fitz, the producer of the draft. Oh, a friend of mine puts out books. Why don't you talk to him? I was 23. Got a call a couple weeks later to do ESPN stuff for that year, and that was the '84 draft. Having Chris Berman there from the get-go was really allowed me, I think, to feel a lot more comfortable. He said, forget the cameras, just talk to me.
What do you think of him as a player?
He's a great prospect. I was very shocked that he lasted this long. I think he's got to be considered, along with Boomer Esiason, one of the steals of this draft.
Well, handicapping this draft, Mel, you have been hot today, picking some of these.
And then midway, late second round, ESPN said we're signing off from the draft, and it went like a tractor pull.
Very loud.
While the draft was going on, I'm flying back to Baltimore. That's how it was in 1984.
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
Over the years, the telecast got longer, Mel's hair got bigger, and his opinions bolder.
First round choice, Jeff Lageman, linebacker, Virginia.
Tell you what, Bob, it's obvious to me right now that the Jets just don't understand what the draft's all about. You're supposed when you buy in a draft is just as important as who you select. Why they would take Jeff Lageman this high out is beyond me. If they're interested in Lageman, you move down.
Think about it. If you're an NFL team, you're celebrating that pick. I don't want anybody saying to my fans, my season ticket holders, anything negative about those players. So when you hear that, you are on the defensive. Because this guy Kiper is not even in the league.
5 years later came another memorable exchange, one that would forever alter the course of draft history and make Mel Kiper Jr. a household name.
Indianapolis has selected Trev Alberts, linebacker from Nebraska.
You got a problem with this move?
I think it's a typical Colt move. I mean, here's a team that needed a franchise quarterback. There were 2 out there. They have a chance at 2. They take an outside linebacker. To pass up a Trent Dilfer when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, give me a break. That's why the Colts are picking second every year in the draft, not battling for the Super Bowl like other clubs in the National Football League.
Was that scripted? Did you have an idea? Or you thought they were going to take Dilfer?
Everything is totally unscripted. you're off the cuff.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, in a way? I mean, here's a guy that criticizes everybody, whoever they take. He's got the answers to who you should take and who you shouldn't take. He's never, ever put on a jockstrap. He's never been a player. He's never been a coach. He's never been a scout. He's never been an administrator. And all of a sudden, he's an expert. He's in our papers 2 days ago telling us who we have to take. We don't have to take anybody that Mel Kiper says we have to take. Mel Kiper has no more credentials to do what he's doing than my neighbor, and my neighbor's a postman, and he doesn't even have season tickets to the NFL.
Freddie Godelli was the producer of the draft. And then Freddie says, no, you're coming back on camera 3 and it's just you and you got to react to Tobin's ripping you. Just know Will Tobin is ripping you right now about what you said about this. React to it on camera 3.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you, I'm secure in my position. Obviously, Bill Tobin is not very secure in his position to have a response like that. I have a right to my opinion. He has a right to his. To me, it's a mistake. You cannot go with Jim Harbaugh and pass up Trent Dilfer. Forget it. That's why the Colts are the laughingstock of the league year in and year out.
April 24th, 1994, a day that will live in infamy.
The helmet phone up there. That ESPN helmet phone?
That's the...
That's the helmet phone. Freddie Godelli said, take this one. This is yours.
This is a keeper.
This was a keeper, yeah.
Mel's hot take heard round the world made the draft a must-watch. All the players are at the draft now. When I was there, 1998, there was just 4 of us. It was me, Ryan Leaf, Charles Woodson, Curtis Enos was the 4th.
Will the RCA Dome, a.k.a. the Big Horseshoe, will that become Peyton's place?
50% of the league thought Leaf should have been 1. 50% of the people thought Manning should have been 1.
With the first pick of the draft, the Indianapolis Colts select quarterback, University of Tennessee, Peyton Manning.
I had one guy in the NFL who's a really good personnel guy. He called me up, he said, if Peyton Manning's name was Peyton Jones, it'd be a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah. I didn't have any upside. I mean, I'm 22, I haven't even hit puberty yet. I got bad acne on my chin. I mean, I gotta have some upside. I mean, I gotta grow a little bit at this point.
Well, you just said the word upside. That's true. You were as good as you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Right.
The draft keeps getting better.
They can turn the pick at any time.
At making memorable moments.
This is a pick you have to make if you're the Packers. Who at 24 thinks a quarterback's going to be there?
Going back to 1978 and see where it is now. I think rewarding, I guess is the word. At least you had an idea that you thought could go and be successful and lead into a business. It did, but nobody at the time thought it could.
And to think, it's all because Burt Bell went belly up as a stockbroker and the Cowboys bought a computer. A computer which uncovered one of the best undrafted players of all time, who later delivered an all-time draft moment.
Please welcome wide receiver Drew Pearson.
I watched Harry Carson go out there. He read his card, got booed.
The Giants are on the clock, hence the booze.
I watched Clinton Portis from the Redskins go out there. He read his card, got booed. And so the commissioner, he says, are you ready for this? I said, I'm used to getting booed in Philadelphia, so this is no big deal.
Dallas, we hate you. Dallas.
How about them Cowboys?
But I'm fired up. You done picked the wrong guy to boo.
I want to thank the Eagle fans for allowing me to have a career in the NFL. Thank you. And on behalf of the 5-time world champion, Dallas Cowboys, all the Cowboy players that played before me, that played with me, and played after me, with the 2nd pick and the 60th pick in the 2nd round, the Dallas Cowboys select defensive back from Colorado, Chidobe Awuzie.
For a guy that didn't get drafted, all right, 17 rounds of the draft, 450-some players, Peyton. Now you're known for the draft.
The draft.
Okay, isn't that cool?
That's funny.
Only in the NFL.
That's
Only
funny.
in the NFL.
Amen. Is this 98?
This is 98. You and Ryan Leaf. There you go.
Read me something.
All right,
Remind me of what I look like in 98.
98.
Before my braces had kicked in. I don't really like the picture already, but
I said in this write-up, one of the more heralded college players in recent memory, no one studies harder or takes the job more seriously. Players have told me that Manning probably understands what's going on better than most offensive and defensive coordinators.
We gotta just keep going. We gotta get going and can't stop.
Manning will win and win big at the pro level.
let me see this. Let me see this. Struggled against UCLA, nearly blowing a sizable lead, and were then whipped soundly by Florida. I had a lot of plays in my career. The only play I see kind of given the play-by-play is a pick six. Prep level, Manning was the second team All-State shortstop. Second team? I thought it wasn't.
I believe.
First team, 440 batting average. That seems a little low.